Imagine you've spent 10 years becoming the person everyone calls when a difficult problem needs solving. You're good at what you do. People trust your judgment. Then one afternoon, you give the same problem to an AI tool. 30 seconds later, it produces a surprisingly good answer. At first, you're impressed, then curious, and then comes a thought you don't say out loud. If it can do this, what exactly do they need me for? And notice what just happened. The AI didn't take your job. It didn't fire you. Nothing in your life actually changed, but something inside you did. That's the moment the problem stops being about productivity. It becomes personal, because maybe you're not actually afraid of AI. You're afraid of what AI might say about you. For years, your career has given you a story about who you are. I'm a designer. I'm a programmer. I'm an analyst. I'm good at what I do. So when AI starts performing the thing you're proud of, your brain may experience more than the technological change. It can feel like a threat to the self, because the deeper question isn't, will AI take my job? It's, what happens to me if the thing I'm good at is no longer special? And uncertainty makes that fear worse. Nobody knows exactly what careers will look like 5 years from now, which skills will matter, which tasks will disappear, which jobs will transform. AI is, in that sense, an uncertainty machine. Psychologists Ema Tanovic, Danielle Li, and Jutta Joormann have examined how uncertainty itself can become psychologically threatening. So your brain starts running simulations. What if I'm replaced? What if younger people know AI better? What if my experience becomes irrelevant? What if I can't keep up? And here's the dangerous part. Your brain can confuse imagining a threat with preparing for a threat. You keep thinking, but you're not necessarily becoming safer. You're rehearsing fear. And beneath that fear is something deeper, competence. Research on AI-related workplace stress suggests that AI can threaten something beyond job security, your sense of self-esteem and competence. Because losing a task feels manageable, but losing the belief I am good at this feels personal. So the mind asks, if my output is no longer special, am I still special? But here's where the story changes. AI may not be destroying your value, it may be exposing how narrowly you defined it. Economists Erik Brynjolfsson, Danielle Li, and Lindsey Raymond studied 5,179 customer support agents using generative AI. Productivity increased about 14% on average, with the largest gains among less experienced workers. The machine wasn't simply replacing human ability, it was spreading some knowledge of stronger workers to people with less experience. And that distinction matters. AI was doing part of the work, but the humans still had to understand the situation, decide what mattered, judge the answer, notice what was missing, and take responsibility for the outcome. So let's make this practical. Step 1. Name what AI threatens. Don't just say, AI scares me. Ask, what exactly am I afraid AI will take from me? My income, my status, my competence, my identity. Once you name the threat, anxiety becomes information rather than a prediction. Step 2. Separate facts from predictions. Make 2 columns, what I know, what I'm imagining. Your brain may be treating a 5-year prediction like tomorrow's reality. It isn't. Uncertainty is not evidence. But these 2 steps point toward a much older idea. People were wrestling with this problem long before AI existed. The Stoics called the faculty of judgment and choice prohairesis. You cannot control how quickly AI develops. You cannot control what your company decides. You cannot control which tasks become automated, but you can control your judgment, your choices, and your response. The Bhagavad Gita makes a similar move. Act fully without making the outcome the foundation of your identity. And Buddhist teaching adds another layer, impermanence. Your role changes, your skills change, your status changes. Even your idea of who you are changes. So perhaps the question isn't, how do I make sure AI never changes my career? It's, can I become someone who doesn't need my current career to remain unchanged in order to feel secure? And if you think the answer is simply learning more AI tools, there's a problem, because you can become extremely good at using AI and still be terrified of it. The real solution is deeper. It's changing the way you define your value. Step 3. Stop using AI's speed as evidence of your inadequacy. You don't need to beat a machine at being a machine. Use AI to remove work that consumes your time. Then use your mind for what gives that work meaning. Context, taste, judgment, relationships, original questions. The goal isn't to compete with AI, it's to move upward. Step 4. Measure your thinking, not just your output. At the end of a project, ask, what did I notice that the tool missed? What question changed the direction? What trade-off did I recognize? What decision required judgment? What did I refuse to automate? Those answers become evidence of value. You move from producing answers to deciding which questions deserve answers, from doing every step to understanding the system, from proving that you can work hard to proving that you can think clearly. And this is the kind of psychological problem we explore at Digital Mind Mentor. How do you use technology without allowing it to redefine you? Because the final step isn't really about AI. Step 5. Build an identity that survives your job. Your job can change. Your industry can change. The technology can change. But your capacity to learn, question, judge, adapt, and choose can travel with you. So maybe the real career dread of the AI age isn't the fear that a machine will take your job. It's the fear that without the job, you won't know who you are. And perhaps AI is forcing us to ask a question we should have asked all along. If my work changes tomorrow, what remains of me? Not your resume, not your job title, not the number of tasks you can complete. Something deeper. Because your value was never simply the amount of work you could produce. It was the quality of mind you brought to deciding which work mattered. And maybe that's the opportunity hidden inside all this disruption. AI can make some forms of production abundant. It can make speed less special. It can make execution cheaper. But that may finally force us to distinguish doing more from thinking better. If AI changed your job tomorrow, what part of you would still remain valuable? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more videos about staying deeply human in an increasingly digital world, subscribe to Digital Mind Mentor. Because the future may change the work you do, but it doesn't have to decide who you become.